we got to them. This axe beak is also fleeing, but it's kind of fleeing in this direction.
I suppose if they make it back to their lair, they'll sound the alarm. There may be more of them out there, you know.
These Vark are trying to get behind this ridge. Like running.
Dang, they can move fast.
And then these Vark, they move at 30. These Vark are running that way. They've decided the giant eyeball they don't understand, and the big electrical fireball, and yeah, you've scattered the Vark.
Shall we press the attack? Continue towards the entryway? We don't want them getting there before us if we can help it.
I don't think we can help it, but we may as well keep moving towards our goal.
I don't think it matters if they get there before us. I got plenty more where that
Who
came
knows what's in there?
All manner of wicked creatures.
I'm sure they've held this valley through some force of arms. They're not that strong. I suppose they must have a master or something.
Yes, I think we heard of drakes of some sort in there, fire creatures and whatnot.
Was there not some sort of evil gentleman, some sort of necromancer or
Blah,
something?
blah, evil.
Yes.
There's evil everywhere.
Taking up shop in the old dragon lair. I'm sure he's there.
Well, if it is a devil, I want some of its blood.
Oh, well, that's quite graphic.
Well, why not?
I don't suppose a good as question as I've ever asked.
They're much more mean chocobos, though. Look at these things. Look at these things' heads. Ridiculous. Big, angry turkey creatures.
Almost looks like an axe.
Big gobble things. All right.
I think we're walking forward.
Okay, so it sounds like Fereosae and
there's
and
a big
Professor,
wall in front of us.
concentrated on the spells and just chatted for a round. Saun, Tech is lowering his blades, like he's.
Yeah, I guess I would use the opportunity to kind of come by, touch the wall.
Okay. You can move, touch it, and then also if you fail again, try to see through it. So you could get 2 saves if you want.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the move 5 feet touch, and, and will roll. Does the touch help?
The touch gives you a save, and then the will to disbelieve gives you a second save.
Oh, gotcha.
You have a +4 to your roll, so the first touch it, you're like your hand goes right through it, and then it becomes somewhat transparent. Like you still see the structure of the illusion, but it is clearly not real and simply a mirage. And you see that the Vark are moving away.
Ooh, you got it.
Tech.
Since it was just to fly over it
Yep.
to the other side.
This was a good spot for ambush.
Yes.
Shame we come away meatless this time.
What is the eyeball?
I don't know. I guess spur of the moment inspiration.
Does it need to be killed?
Oh no, it'll be fine. It's quite docile, really.
Eyeballs are very tasty.
This one is a bit hollow.
Okay, the injured Vark are hooting and hollering, and their axe beaks are whining as they go riding out of the valley. This one you can see is kind of picking its way. Is still in view. And these Vark are disappearing behind the Gnomon. And these ones are still trying to run away.
Zephyros flies and ends up next to Saun, and he says, "Don't be so afraid of the flaming arrows. You will waste a spell if you make me give you fire and then you don't use it."
I nod, and then just go back to like concentrating the wall.
Typically when things go boom, or shocking, or freezing, or it gets very burning acidy, that's me.
Same. I nod, don't say anything. Go back to the wall.
Oh, that is an excellent point. You could use your evocation,
Switching the elements to
That's
change
what
the fire arrow to a different element type.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh, I could do it to the fire arrow too.
Yeah,
I did not consider that.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
thought that's what you were meaning by saying I'm going to make things go of all different elements. All right, so these Vark are calling Fereosae. They're
I'll
just
pretend that's what I meant.
okay. Sure. These Vark are just calling Fereosae as they're running around some large rock formations. This one runs and eventually disappears, kind of in one of the valleys near the Smoking Butte, or behind one of the walls. And then these Vark have quite clearly just collected themselves on the other side of the Gnomon. Like they go running around the backside, and then you don't see them again.
I think we're continuing forward towards the Smoking Butte.
Okay.
Straight away.
You can see that the bear and the desert roth are having a hard time with your walls.
The wall will part to let them through, and shortly. Well, I guess we'll probably concentrate while we walk. Keep it up until
we have to let it fall.
Okay. So the walls part and.
I collect a rope.
Oh yeah, so the spell, you dismiss the spell and collect the rope?
Yeah.
Okay. The spell does have, but beside the duration of the spell, it has in brackets D, which means the spell is dismissible. So it takes an action to dismiss the spell and then an action to pick up the rope, which you could do in a full round. Alright. The valley is somewhat quiet.
Feel free to form back up in a marching order of sorts.
How do you delete the green? Well, how do you draw it first of all?
Which
The green rectangle. Like how do you draw these icons on there?
If you look at the top of map tools,
Uh-huh.
you go to this particular drawing tool,
Okay, gotcha.
and you can.
what order you want to be in.
Fereosae is kind of a middle, maybe tech sort of in the yeah, tech should be near the front. Tech's got good perceptions.
I'll go behind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bear and I just go like
I'll hang out.
immediately to the front.
okay.
Tech, yeah, Tech's gonna hang out near you. That works fine. What do you think, Zephyros? Do you want to follow the bear?
Sure.
There we go.
Alright, that's a nice marching order.
And this thing.
Yeah,
That thing is just like a dumb beast of burden. It's just sort of following in behind your group, probably a little bit staggered.
Did the Vark who get injured drop any junk that's not you?
Well, let's see. You injured 5 of them with a fireball. Let's roll 5d3. If I roll ones, they deposited things. Yeah, you see one of them dropped a bag.
Sephiroth picks up the bag and takes it
Okay,
with him.
so it looks like the group kind of heads out to where the fireball went. Are they
Actually, how big is the bag?
It looks like you blasted a saddlebag off of the
Is it-
axe beak.
Is it big enough for? Is it too big for Mokranum to hold to keep?
Mokranum could gobble up a saddlebag, no problem.
So Zephyros says to Mokranum, "This is for keeping."
Oh, it's a container.
I know.
It has stuff inside, so I could keep the container and keep the stuff inside for you. Assuming you want me to eat this for keeping.
Yes, that's what I want. I don't want us to lose it. We need to give it to the other Vark when we're done.
Oh, that is very nesting of you.
I know, right? And of you for keeping it for them.
Okay, so Mokranum is fed. He chokes on it a little bit, but he eats the saddlebag from the axe beak bird thing, and chokes it down.
Oh, it was big, but I like eating containers.
As he says that, I kind of glance back at it, do some mental calculations, then turn back to the bear and Kavanji and say, I think the bag is a cannibal.
The bear just grunts. It's too big of a word for an 8/3 creature to understand, but it kind of gets that you're a little perturbed.
Oh,
Kinda looks back at the bear, or looks back at the bag too.
there was stuff inside there, I can tell.
I wonder if it's good stuff. I
Oh, it
wonder if it's
probably is.
junk.
Well, if it's junk, we can give it to the Vark, or I could eat it for eating.
Right.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
Very good point. It depends
Although
on
I don't tend to like things that are pointy.
What if we emptied the bag, we kept what's good, and we gave the Vark the junk, and you ate the bag?
Oh, that would work too. Or we could keep the bag around so that I could turn into a bag that looks exactly like it. Then you don't know which one is Makranam and which one's the saddlebag. Oh,
That would be effective.
yes, Makranam, trying to be effective.
Okay, the Vark are pretty much afraid of you guys. You can see them all like looking as your group is going out, and they kind of as a big group, 3, 2, 1. We're in a fireball formation, but then disappeared around the corner.
These guys on
Yeah,
the right
these
here?
ones. Yeah, they're staying out of view, scrambling over themselves as you're heading towards the Smoking Butte.
As we're walking, Tech is next to me, right?
Yep.
So I turn to him,
He stops when you're looking at him. He pays
Yeah.
attention to you.
and I ask him, are you from around here?
Yes,
Do you have a tribe?
no,
A hive?
Tech was very young when
Tell
the,
me about it.
when the great extermination happened.
Warhammer 40k?
What?
Someone kind of, chuckles at that. Then I ask him, have you traveled a lot?
I have gone to station. There are many tribes there, mixed. I find my own tribe. Fereosae is queen.
Of your tribe?
Yes, this is my tribe.
I nod.
Jerks Emeritus is what tribe is called.
I'll hail the queen in, right, Green? I'll hail the queen.
You hear some clacking. The professor knows how to talk to Cream. There are like horror stories of great hordes of cream wandering through the desert wastes and hunting and eating anything they came upon their path, and then apparently an equal horrifying story where the people of Station had enough of the cream and mounted a massive hunt with the cream shells piling higher than several Rothae standing head to tail upon each other. You know those old-timey kind of like pictures of the great buffalo hunts and that sort of thing? Like there are actual pictures, shadow glyphs of the carnage of thousands of Thrycreen being slain.
I guess I make a note as I remember, mental note as I remember that. I don't comment on it.
Yep.
And I ask him, as we're walking, I ask him tell me about this area.
He's it probably happened too long ago for him to have been young at that time. Maybe he's mixing up time a little bit, because the great extermination happened 30 years ago, and you're not sure how old Tech is.
Yeah, I'm not asking so much the history. I'm asking the area. Tell me about this land, that where we are right now.
Tech did not spend much time here. His tribe very small before hunted down.
And how long have you been here since you returned?
Tech has been in station for long time, 6 years. half of Tech's life.
You're 12.
Yes.
I made comment note about like statutory laws and not saying
They're bugs. They don't sleep very much and they're constantly in motion. They probably wear out.
make a
Or they
note.
just get big very quickly. Is Tech gonna get bigger?
Jesus, if he got bigger, that would be insane.
You
Yeah, I
are
know.
you are half giant.
I nod.
Have you ever met a giant? Giant?
Yes. My great 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 grandfather.
Giant's ancient enemy of green.
And so I look at him as an I don't say it, but the kind of what I'm not trying to convey, but what might be read from my face
Yep.
is really you? Like how can you possibly be an enemy?
Many races' ancient enemy of green.
How about now?
He stops.
Like we. Is this one part of our hive?
Yes, sure. Yes.
Then enemy you are not. Be
He
useful.
seems like a jerk.
He does, doesn't he?
Be useful, or you become meat.
Welcome to the hive, son!
Any friend of Ludo's is a fellow jerk.
Yes, that is also true. Ludo is friends with a lot of jerks.
This one is useful.
I nod. Yeah, so we don't need to necessarily role play this out, but since these are new people to me,
Yep.
basically what I'm trying to do, as we are walking, is I'm trying to learn as much as I can from them about lands they've been to.
Okay. These are actually very crucial conversations, so I don't mind taking a pause now and then to ask. However, I will speed things along, just like I'm going to do right now. By the time this conversation with the Kreen ends, you've reached what looks like a crooked trail that goes up the side of the mountain and disappears into a cave. There is a bit of smoke in the air coming out of the cave.
Yeah, be careful about traps. I'm gonna stay flying.
Yep.
We're on a trail, you said.
There is a rocky trail that is barely wide enough for Zephyros to walk along. Your bear could probably navigate it. The road thing
Is gonna have to stay at the
gonna have to stay at the
base,
bottom.
yeah.
Can I?
And it does rise, it kind of like crisscrosses up the side of the butte to a ledge and a cave that is 150 feet off the ground.
I'll
Let me-
try and
let me
make
see
it
if that
lots of
makes
water
sense.
while we try and figure out what to do.
As you're doing that, like I see you start making that, I pull out some water skins and I pour them into the bear.
We'll say 100 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
On the side, like
This is a bit of at a distance, kind of because of perspective, and I'm going to draw the cave that you can now see, the entrances. Background.
How long has it been since that fight?
Walking across this area, maybe 10 minutes.
Wait, this is that small? I thought this was like miles and miles.
I think it's not miles and miles. It's
Maybe a mile across?
Yeah.
It's actually not even.
It's not that far.
Yeah.
The Vark
but even a half a mile is a decent walk. Yeah.
Okay.
So there is a crisscrossing trail, and then both you and Tech point out it looks like the Vark that you didn't catch in the fireball on the axe beak navigated the trail all the way up.
Can I check if anything else walked along this trail?
Yeah, give me a survival.
Okay.
And
Again,
Tech auto aids you, so he takes secondary to your survival, so you get a +2 to your roll.
Is this tracking or?
This is definitely tracking.
Is that +2?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
The Vark and their axe beaks traverse this area all the time.
Can I get a sense of how many?
There are also, this is very subtle, but you rolled a 34, a different race of small creatures tracks.
Small as in
Halfling size, Vark size,
Okay,
they're like
so-
3-4 feet tall. And this thing had wrapped feet and clawed feet.
Okay.
Like it didn't wear boots.
Okay.
Also pretty quick. With a 34, it also has a 30-foot move speed.
Okay. So I turn to, I think, Zephyros, since he's walking next to us.
Kind of like a bib, or like the like the mouth of the cave belched out all of these things. You find bones of all sorts of desert creatures, from small birds and lizards to even like parts of lion beast and some of the desert rothae. Like something definitely hunts here.
Hunts next to the cave.
Or there's a killing ground here. You do see a couple of like packed up parcels of meat that look like it's pemmican from the beasts that that you slaughtered the day before, and they're just sort of like lying on the side of the hill halfway up the road with swarms of flies around them.
So I turn to Zephyros, and I explain that something small, maybe a small human or a dwarf or something, walked through here, clawed feet, wrapped. I guess 30 feet is pretty slow, right?
30 feet is the same speed that humans move at.
Okay. Then just what I said. Nothing about the speed.
That is interesting. Can you tell if there's more than one of them?
Okay.
This place is frequented by them. It looks like they might even camp or eat or prepare meat in this in the shadow of the Smoking Butte.
Probably more than one, yes.
You can actually smell like cooking meat on the air. Like they might cook meat inside this lair.
Sorry, I momentarily lost network connection to you guys.
The smell of cooking meat.
Zephyros says to Saun after he said about the trail he sees. That's very interesting. Can you tell if there's more than one of them?
There's definitely more than one.
I'll spell recall expeditious retreat.
Okay. 10 minutes of crossing the valley or whatever, and standing around having conversations and poking around. I think fly spells have gone down. Any minute per levels from last might have gone down.
I pulled the moment of greatness off everybody.
Okay, cool. Are you going up the side? And if so, who is going up the side?
I guess I would just point up, kind of question, like raise my eyebrows. You know, are we going up there?
Yes.
If someone nods, I just start climbing, wave someone behind me.
Okay, Tech.
Or not someone, the wave the bear behind
You also notice that Tech looks behind himself. Also, like Tech asks for permission. Like he seems to defer to these folk. And then Fereosae obviously gives a command to Tech, and you start to realize there might be some sort of weird, like Tech might be their pet.
We'll follow.
Yep.
I'll follow kind of along with the bear here, staying
I think I'm
a couple
going to
feet off the
assume he's
ground.
their animal companion.
Do you want me to go first? I have blades, you have bow.
I nod and I say, watch the ground.
Yes. Are you bringing your bear beast up here? He is very loud.
He can be quiet, and instruct, the bear to walk slowly.
Okay.
He has like something resembling stealth.
The bear is following behind.
Fereosae is actually going to fly a little bit closer. She's going to fly above Tech.
Okay.
and scan the grounds in front of them.
All right. Zephyros and Makarnam, and then Henry.
On the way here, Zephyros would have recalled Mirror Image using the arcade pool,
Okay.
and then he's going to move up as well. But he's going to be walking, so he's going to be a little slower, I suppose.
Yep. And then Professor, you following in behind?
Yeah, I am for the moment. I'm maybe quick on the draw with getting a fly spell out here in a moment, but I'm gonna pull up the rear for now.
And your shrink wore off.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
not.
so you're medium. Okay, I'm gonna paste you guys on a new map as you approach the ledge. And the map is gonna be.
Oh, and I kind of, tell the bear, tell me if you smell something.
Okay. I'm gonna make this.
Just while you're doing that, Marty, Zephyros is paying close attention to the language that he speaks to the bear, hoping to at some point acquire the language.
You're starting to listen. Starting to listen. Okay. All right, I need to make the map player visible, and then I'll force you guys there. Let's say top down. Maparoo. Loading. Come on, you can do it, Knuckles.
You can do it, buddy.
Why do half the illustrations we see look like a vagina? The fucking eye. Now this thing.
It's true. That is cut away.
In the other campaign, we've had complaints about it looks like a penis, Marty. Can you please redraw it?
Can't win.
All right. There is a great amount of mist and smoke kind of emanating from the back of this cave.
Kind of from the cervix, right?
I'm grabbing some more caffeine.
I promise no more, but yes.
Oh my god.
You see what I mean? This is not even exaggeration.
No, it's yeah. I mean,
Isn't that decaffeinated?
No, there's caffeine in there. There's extra caffeine in it.
Oh.
That's probably a bad idea.
You guys are breaking me.
All right, no more. Seriously.
yeah.
There is a lot of almost like a mixture of smoke, a tiny bit of a smell of sulfur. Actually, a quite strong smell of sulfur, and a mist in the air as well. I think you can see through this stuff, can't you?
I should be able to. Yeah.
Fereosae. All right. I need to grab a token.
Wow, what the fuck?
From Valley of the Titans.
Natural fog, mist, and rain I can see through without penalty.
Was it smoke though?
Yeah.
Okay, you can hear the squawking of one of the axe beaks, although you can't see it. Fereosae, you can see through the mist. We're going to say this is blocking about 20 feet of vision.
Yeah.
Probably starting at this point, and I'll draw a little bit of a gray barrier. Mist starts to get really heavy right about here. You can hear the squawking of one of the axe beaks, and you can actually hear a raspy voice. It might have said something quickly. It spoke in Draconic. I don't know if any of you speak Draconic.
I believe I do. Yes. Alright. I will momentarily put away my pursuit of making a token with the unseen servant carrying a frilly parasol.
Yep. And?
What is...
The raspy voice, which came from the Vark, said, "Intruders."
believe they're calling us intruders.
Master, Intruders.
He's warning his master. I will take out Bakam's wand. Spell recall, invisibility, and ooh, no.
And I'll draw this particular part of the road led up to here. You guys are all marching into the cave this way.
I'll silently cast Reduce Person on myself again.
I'm gonna ask Pixel to sneak up to here.
Okay, Pixel. Alright. Give me a stealth from Pixel.
You bet. Plus 30. $45.
Okay. She's silent as a mouse. However, this cave is a little stifling with heat and smoke. I need a fortitude save from Pixel.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
She's walking into like a hot spring of
Plus 3.
boiling fey wings.
Ooh, nat 1. She fails.
Okay, she takes. Now this isn't every round. This is just for the next little while.
Sure.
She takes 6 points of non-lethal damage from the heat.
All right.
What is non-lethal damage?
Non-lethal damage won't kill you until you take twice the number of hit points you have. Then it actually, once it does more hit points than your max hit points, you actually start taking lethal damage. A punch from an untrained person does non-lethal. Some types of a sap will do non-lethal because it's meant to knock you out. Some type of environmental effects, starvation might also do non-lethal damage.
Gotcha.
It's just tracked separately than regular damage.
Gotcha.
Okay, so Professor cast some spells. The raspy voice went quiet.
I did it silently.
Oh, cool. So, spells. Fereosae sent Pixel off. Are you doing anything else, Fereosae?
Me no.
No? Okay. Tech is just going to stealth forward.
I stealth also, and I follow him.
Okay. You're a little bit slower than Tech. I think Tech moves at
40 probably.
Tech moves at 50.
Jeez. You need a stealth roll from him?
Yep. And then Saun moves at 30.
How far can we see in here?
You can see 20 feet beyond. So you saw where Pixel went, but she kind of disappeared into the smoke. So you could see probably about up to here at this point.
So Zephyros is probably just going to move out of the cluster.
Okay. And Balamut's just following Saun quietly?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he has stealth also.
Yep. At this point, I think everyone needs to give me a stealth roll. Or if you'd like, I could just take 10 for your stealth rolls.
I may do that.
Okay. 23 for me, 10 for the bear.
Okay.
If you can take 10 from my stealth roll, that'd be great.
Sure. I'll let you take 10.
I will take 10 as well. Since I'm reduced my stealth.
Your dex goes up by 2, which means your stealth goes up by 1. And then you have a plus
Size.
4 for size.
So.
Oh, you're reduced.
I'm at 5 plus. My regular stealth is 5, so 10, 20 stealth.
Okay, and what's your stealth, Zephyros, if you roll 10?
So I need to roll.
Reduced person.
No, pretend you rolled 10. What is your stealth result?
10.
Oh, 10. Okay.
That's why I took 10.
The elephant man carrying the door and a bunch of bags and Makronom is kind of jingling a little bit and scuffling along the ground. Everyone's like How did the bear sneak? You're taking 10 for the bear, or are you going to roll?
No, I rolled.
Okay.
He also end up with a 10.
Okay, so the bear, like shifted a rock a little bit. There's a little bit of a scrape. Tech's antennae kind of go up and looks back at everyone. He doesn't complain or jibe at you, but he definitely is letting you know that you're being pretty loud.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the low growl of the axe beak. Kind of turns into a squawk, like it heard the 10s.
How far away is it? Can we tell?
Actually, you know what? 10 around a corner, and at -1 for every 10 feet means they need to roll DC 29s to hear the two noisy people. Let me have a look here. I need a nat 20 from the bird to hear you guys at that distance. And I need a nat 20 from the Vark. Okay. There's a little bit of noise. There's the distant sound of what sounds like bubbling, like moving water, boiling water. It might be covering your approach. I'm going to let you contain. You can continue having your current stealth rolls as you move forward. Go ahead and move forward if you want.
I kind of turn back to the bear.
Yep.
I push my hand in his face like.
Okay.
Stop,
You're
wait
telling
here.
him to stay here.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I follow Tech. And also, like, since I see Tech going away from me, I whisper like, slow down, let me follow.
Okay. Tech's no stranger to him being.
He moves at half speed,
Sure.
so stealthing but not at speed. Pixel is kind of
He'll slow down a little bit.
choking in the fumes a little bit. She's going to move in one more time.
Okay. So Pixel sees that the chamber opens up a little bit and some cracks along the ground. She's not. Oh, she can see through mist?
Yeah.
All the way?
A non-magical mist, yeah.
Okay. Well, Pixel needs to come back and report. So.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Do you have a telepathic?
Emotion, but not.
She grits against the heat, so she's feeling determined. She got injured, and now she's curious, but at the same time has a feeling of awe-inspired. A little bit of disgust too. The sulfurous egg, rotten egg smell is getting stronger,
That's
especially
fair.
when you enter the mists. And the boiling sound is getting louder. And Zephyrus, you staying put this round?
Zephyrus is just contemplating for now because he knows that we're looking for a crystal, right? Does he know where we can get it?
Well, you look around this room. There's enough light from the outside that you don't see any specific crystals in the room. Although you see ever so slightly some striations of what look like tiny veins of rock crystal in this chamber.
But he gets the sense that we need to go deeper and to go get what we're looking for.
Yeah, what is it that you're looking for?
It's the crystal that goes on the handle of the staff that they're.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's from the dragon. Is it one of his scales?
Oh, is it a scale? Sorry, is it a scale that we're looking for? I thought it was a crystal. Sorry.
I believe
So
the,
it's like a
the instructions were as
crystallized
a scale that was trapped in, like an insect in amber. It should be a scale trapped in a crystal.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, you enter the mist a little bit from there. Give me a second. Okay, you don't hear anything yet.
This path we came up it's like a slow ramp up to.
Yeah, there's a ramp up to here. It kind of crisscrosses down the slope. Okay, nothing yet. Pixel is coming back.
Yeah.
I guess as soon as I see her, I wave Balmond to
Yep.
me.
Okay. Element shuffles forward and then stops.
I see. It's warm in there. My wings are really dry.
I tell Balmond to let her.
Alma comes over.
Pixel seems unsure.
I'll take Pixel into my and put her into my vest.
The vest is not covered with saliva.
There's a big pit. The pit's got boiling sounds coming out of it, and there's a walkway around the big circular pit, and at the far side of the pit there's something with red scales curled up and taking a sleep.
I turn to Balmond and I'm like, there's a Burger King test kitchen in there.
I will. I'll share this information with the folks close by in hushed tones.
Pixel can give me a knowledge arcana to see if she recognizes what the creature is.
Good.
I think she shares your ranks, just not your raw intelligence.
Yeah, the thing about my ranks is, as a bard, I'm like, I put one into everything.
Okay, so
Yeah. She's at +1.
Sephiroth can't hear any of this. He's 40 away.
Yep.
20. She rolled a 19.
Nice. All right. So
It's big. It's got red scales.
Something big with red scales.
she's weeping.
It's scary.
It's a dragon.
It seems to be a dragon. It has wings.
It's too big for us.
Is it awake and angry?
I think I saw one of its eyes open. It's as big as the Rothe.
As big as the Rothe.
Isn't that pretty small for a dragon?
It's not an enormous dragon. Maybe it's some sort of drakish thing.
No, it's a true dragon. We're gonna die, aren't we?
I think that it may have, it may produce fear of some sort.
Giant things that are about to eat you normally do. I say as I glance at the bear.
Do I feel a significant amount of fear from Pixel?
Pixel's afraid for you. She doesn't have a fear effect on her. She's afraid of what she saw because of how destructive red dragons are.
Do we don't actually expect that there is a red dragon in this lair anymore, do we?
I thought thought it was dead long ago.
Perhaps it is not.
Something that big is at least an adult. Maybe a mature adult dragon. It can melt stone with his fiery breath. It'll burn our wings.
Stay in here with me and we'll stay near the back.
There's lots of room for it to fly around in there. Dragons are really fast flyers, and something that old can cast spells.
It sounds very dangerous.
So as I hear this shit,
Bravo. Bravo. Magnificent
It's a
performance,
big dragon. Perhaps an adult. It can fly. It can cast spells. Seems like it might be awake.
So here's a proposal.
Perhaps.
Why are we here again? Like, this seems like a huge risk, and
Let's make Zephyros go in first.
I nod.
I'll kind of motion you guys.
I'll fly
Back?
over to Zephyros
And
Well,
maybe
Zephyros couldn't hear any of that because you guys
point
were whispering.
over. I'll see you have some information from Pixel, and you're going to walk to Zephyros. I'll kind of motion back and point to the ramp where the ramp goes around the corner,
Yeah, it goes kind of down.
and say and do like talking motions with my hands,
Okay, yeah, I'll go over to here.
and start walking over there. And I'll walk so we're kind of guarded from the wall, and we could talk and maybe cast spells and figure out what we're doing.
Alright, Tech will go ahead and join as well.
Be warned, master.
Zephyros sees everybody walking that way, but he doesn't know why they're walking that way.
You can hear the thing talking again.
Be warned, master. They have spells. And they have conjured a great eye.
Yes! The eye!
Wait, who can hear
Yeah,
this?
we did do
You,
that.
speaking in the draconic language, you can hear something deeper in the mists, kind of calling out to the
To the dragon.
to the dragon.
Presumably, yeah.
Zephyros is going to cast mirror image on himself.
Okay. Zephyros cuts through the quiet with a spell. It has a verbal component.
I think they are here, master.
Well, so much for that, I will say as I cast fly.
Okay, so Henry's casting fly. What is? We are going to roll initiative in a moment. I'll give you this round though. Fereosae.
Fereosae wants everyone back
Okay.
here.
Are we? Tech is. What are we doing, my queen?
I think combat soon.
Okay.
This is
Tech.
Zephyros.
Tech will make his blades mighty. You will cast lead blades.
Ah, that's a good one, yes.
How far can I move? Is it?
30 if you're moving normally.
Also vanish.
Yeah, well, I cast something, so I can only move 30.
Yep.
What did you cast?
Zephyros's
Mirror image, yeah.
Zephyros is trundling backwards to the sound of
Zephyros is
Two
5
is-
images.
Saun.
If I move then cast, I can only move 30?
Correct. Your speed. Yep.
Okay. And the bear also has speed 30.
Yeah, the bear could double move if you wanted.
Right. We don't. So yeah, we move here, I cast gravity ball.
Okay. Taking out your bow and magic makes a bunch of the dark veins run with blue energy across the bone blow, bone bow, and then
Bone blow.
Bone blow. What's going on here? Cadaverous Vark.
The red veins, right?
They're here.
How long is it since our previous fight?
About 15 minutes.
Okay, so he's still got fire arrows.
Nice.
They're 10s, right?
Yeah, they're 10s.
Okay. Well now, who has come to my lair? You hear a baritone voice, a slight hiss.
In what language?
Common.
Pizza delivery.
What is this?
Alright, you make some sort of restaurant joke. I guess in Grand Station they would have people who deliver food, so sure.
I know we're here. The hags have sent me to collect a scale they desire.
I will translate that into Draconic.
I'm going to reserve the right to roll some dice behind the screen.
That sounds fair.
Who gave you that right?
Professor.
You had the opportunity to roll some metal dice and you didn't.
It's gotta roll the secret dice. Oh shit! I'm up over 1k channel points.
Okay, the professor's just translating in Draconic.
Are you around the corner still? It's pretty far away to yell.
Yeah,
Okay, you're way back there yelling in
I
Draconic.
could 5 foot step closer.
Okay. Come to me and give me an offering suitable to the hierarchy of being. Me at the pinnacle, and you somewhere near the bottom.
Does he say that in common?
Yeah, it's common.
Oh, great dragon, do not smite us!
You can hear the Vark is speaking in Draconic, and you get the sense that he's trying to kowtow to the dragon.
I make a mental note that near the bottom is accurate for, the professor.
They offer death! Death to any you desire. At my hand.
I'll translate.
Come closer, so I may gaze upon those who dare tread in my domain.
Pixel, why don't you just stay here for a bit?
Closer.
Yes, as I hear this, I push the bear and myself toward the wall.
Do not worry, I have eaten already today.
I will fly into the mouth of the cave.
Okay. You can see through mist. What spells do you have running?
There's 80 feet. Endure elements and mage armor. Not a ton at the moment. I think I'll be out of immediate engagement distance.
Alright, standing on a ledge across a great pit where there's bubbling fumes
Belching forth from down below. You get a sense from your vantage point the pit goes down pretty far. And glistening with red scales is a truly large dragon. Pixel was right, this thing is a red dragon. Give me
Actual, yeah.
If you want to learn anything about it, you could give me a knowledge arcana.
I will take 20, which I can do once a day with bardic knowledge, which gives me a what are we looking at? 33.
Okay, this is a perfect specimen with its cruel horns surrounding its mighty dragon head. Thick scales, the color of molten rock, cover its long body. It is glistening because of the sulfuric moisture in the air. It is a mature adult red dragon. It is male. You know that these things don't bother using fire against them, sleep spells, or paralysis. Magic will wash up against their scales, and you need magic weapons to do suitable amount of harm to them. They are spellcasters. At this age, they're probably equal spellcasters to one of you. They do have some tricks up their sleeves. They could turn fire into smoke. They can plant charms in your mind. And then one more thing. And their greed allows them to see magic. Give me a perception check. At this distance, the DC is 30.
Luckily, that is makeable. 26.
Okay. You notice that there are some sparkling treasures scattered here and there. Not like a bed of coins, but it looks like there are coins and odd objects that are adorning kind of this room. It looks pretty sparse, like spread out.
Yeah.
You'd have to get much closer to assess the value. At this point, though, the 26, you do hear the squawking, the kind of like grumbling of the bird, probably because of the heat, and the Cadaverous Vark
Yeah.
around the corner.
I do have a constant displacement effect from a
Okay.
cloak that I'm wearing.
The dragon says, "Come closer." Come closer.
I'll come a little bit closer.
As I see Fereosae flying in, I'll kind of follow. I don't want to turn like around the wall, so just gonna be here.
So
Yeah, I'll fly up.
still the possibility, I think, of a running fly out for me that'll maybe let me live.
I'll be up in the air above the crack to go in here, right? It's like a hole.
Yep.
I'll be in the air above it,
That makes sense.
sort of like peeking down inside, listening.
Oh, do come closer.
Are your eyes not open?
Whatever do you mean? I simply wish to speak to those who interlope. I want to get to know who you are.
I've told you, I'm Fereosae. I was sent by the hags to fetch an item. They offer you death.
Which hags?
You know, the coven of the... let me see, I've written this down. The coven of... Let me see, I've written this down.
Haha, yes. I know them well.
Pew pew. Boring conversation anyway.
That really is our deal.
I guess while they're talking, I'm like frantically waving tech over.
Oh yeah,
Come join.
tech is fucking fight machine.
The Stitch Gathering, Craven, Roxana, Agitated Sisters are blind to...
The eye of something?
Yeah, the...
Is that it?
I have too many notes. Oh, the Seer's Eye Coven.
And why would they send you to fetch something?
Because I am a friend of their master.
What is it that you seek? Give me a sense of it.
Yeah, that one's the one I'm not great at because I don't care.
I'm lying, but like, obviously.
13.
Okay, yeah, it's just standing there proudly. Yeah. What have you come to get?
It's a scale, a gem scale thing.
It's a crystallized scale.
I'm sure there are many.
What is the eye that the Vark speaks of?
A great green eye!
You can hear the Cadaverous Vark. The Vark's looking back. He can't quite see.
What is it? What of it? The Seer's Eye Coven has many eyes.
Bam!
Their eyes are everywhere. My eyes are here.
Give me
My
a
eyes can see you clearly.
give me a bluff check. I'm going to give you +2 because the Seer's Eye Coven is just across the valley, and then
They're a real thing.
and then a
yes.
+2 for a really slick lie.
That was a good one. That was really nice improv there.
Oh, that's one I haven't put on my... I have to go to my real-ass character sheet for this? Oh.
Oh,
Like a
peasant.
plebe. A bluff, yeah. With a +4.
Yep.
That's something I'm fairly good at. 25.
Okay. And what do you want? What do you have to trade?
What do you have to offer me in exchange for a scale of my ancestor?
Death of whoever you choose, by my hand.
That's such a good.
You pick it for sport if you like.
The albino. Kill him and you can have one of the scales.
Sensible.